Mic check, testing, testing, 1, 2. There we go. Okay. All right. So it looks like I got 2 on the scanner this morning. Um, so over here on the scan, I got REPL and FGF. Looking over here at REPL, it looks like it's leading the morning with 23 million shares traded, ATR of $1.28. Let me see what the ATR was for yesterday. Yesterday it was $1.13. It's up 61% with a float of 41.31 and shares outstanding of 77 yeah, 77 million. Okay, let me see. So volume, our vol is 7 times. FGF is a way lower float, but it's just not getting the attention that REPL is getting. So I kind of want to see the attention die off of REPL first before doing anything with FGF. So let's look at why these things are moving. Starting with REPL. So right here, Wednesday, July 30th. See, it says San Diego, July 30th, 2025. Reminds stockholders that a class action was filed on behalf of investors who purchased or otherwise acquired Replimune Group Inc. Securities between November 22nd, 2024 and July 21st, 2025. Replimune Group Inc., a clinical stage biotech company, focuses on the development and commercialization of oncologic, oncologic, immunotherapies to treat cancer. For more information, submit a form to the attorney Aaron Demas Jr. The allegations. So Robbins LLP is investigating allegations that Replimune Group (REPL) misled investors regarding the viability of its Ignite trial. According to the complaint, during the class period, defendants failed to disclose that one, defendants recklessly overstated the Ignite trial's prospects, given material issues that defendants knew or should have known of, which resulted in the FDA deeming the Ignite trial inadequate and not well controlled. And two, as a result, defendant statements about Replimune's business, operations, and prospects were materially false and misleading and lacked a reasonable basis at all relevant times. Okay, plaintiff alleges that on July 2022, 2025, Replimune announced that it had received a complete response letter from the FDA for RPI Biologics license application for the treatment of advanced melanoma, and that the CRL indicates that the FDA is unable to approve the application in its present form because the Ignite trial is not considered to be an adequate or and well-controlled clinical investigation that provides substantial evidence of effectiveness. On this news, the price of Replimune stock plummeted by $9.52 per share. What now? You may be eligible to participate in the class action against Replimune. So yeah, REPL, gonna leave that one alone. The other one that we have up this morning has way less attention. So I really want to see Replimune absolutely die on the day before I even think about FGF. It's gone down quite a bit. It was up at 30 bucks, but let's see what it has on today. It does have catalyst on the day. It says Fundamental Global announces a 200 million private placement and launches Ethereum treasury strategy on Ethereum's 10th birthday. All right, so it's led by the visionary team bridging Wall Street, DeFi, and Web3. Fundamental Global Inc. to be renamed FG Nexus Inc. Fundamental Global co-founder Joe Maglia to serve as executive advisor to the company, and then Mahavanovic, Vuhinovic, an early blockchain pioneer to lead the digital asset business. Okay, so let's see, Charlotte, North Carolina. Fundamental Global today announced the pricing and signing of a private placement for the purchase and sale of 40 million pre-funded common stock warrants at a price of $5 per warrant for expected aggregate gross proceeds 200 million. Okay, so aggregate goes, okay, before deducting placement agent fees and all of this. Okay, so what we want to know is, do they already have this money, or are they trying to raise this money this morning? Okay, so Fundamental Global offers investors a capital markets vehicle engineered for Ethereum. All right. Strategic financial advisors participating in private placement. Ethereum. Okay, so the closing of the offering is expected to occur on August 1st. So August 1st, this thing could be popping back into existence. So I'm just going to leave it on the watch. August 1st is literally in 2 days on Friday. So if they do an offering or not an offering, they're closing the offering on August 1st. So I think people will be a lot more comfortable trading it on Friday. But right now it looks like the offering is open. They're trying to raise money. And I think that's why it may not be getting as much attention as it probably would if there was no offering. Okay, so let's read through this. CEO, digital assets, pioneer, blah, blah, blah. These are the people. Theodore Rosenthal, event driven. He's a capital, is an advisor to over 2 billion in the family office. Okay. Healthcare billion. Leadership team bridging, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Legacy asset trust. Yeah, I think people will be more comfortable trading this on August 1st. So we will see what happens with it on August 1st on the closing of that offering. But today it is looking like people don't really want to touch it. All right, let's go back and look at RPL. Let me notate what we saw there on the lawsuit here. So REPL lawsuits. Where is my, oops. All right. Class action lawsuit there. Stockholders. Class action. On securities between November 22nd. Right. Law firm, blah blah blah, deadline. So it's fraud. Let me add fraud there. fraud is the main thing that they got on them. All right, so we got that notated, and then FGF is closing its offering on Friday. Closing offering on August 1st, Friday. We'll see where it ends up falling. Now it went up to 74 something dollars. Okay. Definitely keep an eye on it. ATR of $5.97 on it. But yeah, I think REPL has drawn most of the attention to itself in becoming a short, something that shorts can attack with this lawsuit on it. It popped from, let's see, when did the news pop? 5:10 a.m. is when the news popped. And so it just really hasn't reacted yet. It was going up. Somebody knew something was going on, and there was a bunch of little wishy-washy trading in here. And then right at 5:10, it popped. Okay. Okay, so yeah. I'm still waiting to see because it had a little bit of a swing down, but it continues. People are still trading even with the lawsuit. So I don't know how people will feel about it at the open when the real volume comes in, or not real volume, but the buy and sell orders end up going through on this. It started at $3.72 down here, had the ATR high here at 489 that it could return to. Let's go look at the daily chart while we're speaking about charts. So here's REPL. Let's back this daily chart up a little bit so we can see that it has had a couple of gap downs. Okay, so it had a gap down back here, gap down here. Closed yesterday. Look at this. So this was on, what was this date? 7/21. This was when the original kind of rumor of that class action was circulating, and it dropped from 1236 down here to 290. Okay. And then it came back up here to 373. It gapped up just a little bit around this. The high was 645. But look at this big old gap though. This is a lot of space and opportunity for shorts to take action. But the bottom of this, or the daily high back here, was $4 flat. So we'll mark that up as maybe a possible $4 level that could see something, but it's way down there if it reaches that. Let's see, edit, possible daily. Possible daily level at $4, but I don't know who's gonna be buying that back up. And then the top of this this zone here is 12. I need to see if they did any reverse splits, or let me go look at. Let's go look over here in the AI thing. Where is it? Benzinga AI. This is REPL. How many reverse splits have they performed? How many reverse splits has REPL performed? Tell me more about the company, financials, more about the company and the current lawsuit. Let's see if we can do all of that. So how many reverse splits has REPL performed? Tell me more. Tell me more about the company and the current lawsuit. All right, here's a financial flavor joke for what? A joke? What? Here's a finance flavored joke. Okay, all right. Maybe it didn't understand. That's what it was. It was too many variables there. All right, tell me how many reverse stock splits that REPL has performed. Let's just start there. Too many different variables in that sentence. What was the joke though? Let me see. Why did the investment banker try to reverse engineer the ATM? Because he wanted to figure out how to make withdrawals before making deposits, just like some IPOs. Oh, wow. That's a. Oh, speaking of reverse engineering, it's a fascinating concept of in finance, too. Think about how analysts break down a company's financial statements to uncover hidden value or risk. If you're curious about blah, blah, okay, that's enough. All right. Why is it saying Argin? What is Argin? This is what's the name of this company? REPL. REPL is Replimune Group. Okay. How many reverse splits has Replimune Group performed? Okay, reverse splits for Replimune. Okay, so date checked. After a thorough review of the latest available public filings, there is no record of a reverse split on this one, so it's just really down bad. Okay. Um, tell me about the lawsuit against them. Clear summary, lawsuit, and regulatory update, Replimune. Okay, so 722 FDA completed complete response letter. So FDA rejected their trial or whatever. And then company response Replimune to request type A meeting with FDA to discuss a path forward. No active securities lawsuit disclosed. Okay, there's no public record of a or credible news source. Well, what's the class action? Okay. Setback, but okay, so it's FDA regulatory setback, but not legal action. The main event is an FDA complete response letter, CRL, which means the agency cannot approve the company's lead drug candidate in its current form due to concerns about the trial design and evidence strength. Okay, so it's not a legal action, but we just read. Okay, so why did I see class action news about this company? Okay. Oh my gosh, it keeps giving me jokes. Stop giving me jokes and give me answers. All right, so let me go to FDA regulatory. So no active securities lawsuit. Is there not a class action? What do they call it? Class action. Um, Class action alert. Okay, acquired. It says plaintiffs alleged that on July 22nd, Ripple announced that it had received complete. Okay, they did that. This is a whole different matter, though. Hmm. Okay. Maybe it's not as bad as it looks. I mean, it is up 62%. So somebody's like, oh, we don't care. You know, they did a little class action lawsuit, but we're going to keep you up. I don't know. But for right now, it is a leader on today that can give some range. So it is still up around $6. But I mean, there is something going on, it seems, some kind of fraud or something. I don't know, based on what we saw in the reports, but maybe it's just false allegations. Maybe they are good on the books and everything. Actually, let me see if it'll tell us about his financials. What are these financials looking like? Oh, well, put something in there that shouldn't have been. Maybe it'll just get it right. Okay, so it says revenue year over year, gross profit, Q4. I mean, they're definitely in the red. Okay, so great question. Let's break down the financials on Replimune Group. Revenue for Q4 March 20. Okay, hasn't reported yet. Gross profit 736K supposedly. Operating income negative 79. Fiscal year 2025 negative 261. So it is even more debt than last year, or more operating income in the negatives than last year. Weak revenue generation. REPL reported zero revenue for the last quarter and fiscal year. Why it matters: the company remains pre-commercial, relying on external funding rather than product sales. A typical but high risk profile for clinical stage biotechs. Okay, yeah. Persistent operating losses. Why it matters: high R&D and SG&A costs continue to outpace any income, reflecting heavy investment in clinical trials and pipeline development. Negative earnings per share. Why it matters: ongoing losses dilute shareholder value, and that is probably what we saw back here on. That's probably what we saw on this daily chart, was the dilution. So this thing was once at 12 something dollars, but the company probably needed money. And so they sold a bunch of it to gain money from this $12, which brought them down because they haven't done any reverse splits. So it brought them all the way down to $3 and something. And now they're trading around $6, but it's still half of the original value. And so this lawsuit is talking about, hey, I think something's not right. This company's not doing it, whatever. But Yeah, it's not a good company to begin with. You know, getting more and more in debt per year. Now, of course, they are clinical biopharmaceuticals, so they're applying for grants and money to live. But yeah, they're only gonna dish out so much money until they kill it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that AI. It's telling me jokes and everything else. I'm like, yo, just give me the what I'm looking for. It's like, you want to hear a joke? Pull my finger. But yeah, REPL is definitely on the fence. And then on Friday, this will be closing. So I don't know if we're gonna see a great move on this on Friday on FGF. But let's go look into FGF a little bit more. FGF. So it says it has unconfirmed earnings in like 14 days from now. FGF announced a $2 million private placement. And we kind of looked through this. I was kind of looking for if they had money or if they were trying to raise money. And there is an offering on it that will be closing on August 1st. And so we'll have to see what all that wants to do. Because I mean, on Friday, it could just be like, oh boy, it just closed the offering, now it's up. And usually, I mean, what's the probability of them closing the offering on August 1st and then reopening a new off or redoing the offering again? You know what I mean? Like, it's that's not very likely if they're gonna close. So, but yeah, definitely quite a bit of a ways that it can go down. It started yesterday at $22. If we back up a little bit, let's see. Let's go look at the daily chart on this one. So it looks like it's just been selling off for quite a while. Came up to 70 and it hit 70 today. We may need to see how many reverse stock splits this one has done. I don't think it's done any, but yeah, it hit 74 today. So right around this level up here. And now it's all the way back down to 30. So gave back $40 worth of profit. The low is at 14.21. It's got a little high up here at 38. So possible daily level could come into play at some point. Possible daily level up there at that 38. Let's zoom back a little bit more, and then the 38 was traded around this point before it went up to 70 the first time. All right, let's go look at these reverse stock splits. FGF. How many reverse stock splits has FGF performed? It's got just around 1 million shares traded on it, up 40 something percent. Okay, so no reverse stock splits have been executed on FGF up to this date. All right, tell me about their financials. Tell me about their financials. Yeah, I saw it was a higher float. And so like when I'm looking at a higher or I kind of keep my scanner open for higher floats just in case they're getting more attention. I'm like, okay, well, if they're getting more attention right now, I may need to hold off on this low float if a higher float one is moving like this. You know what I mean? Let that higher float one die and then come back in and try to trade a low float. Um, unless the high float just has some incredible news. Let's dive into the financials. Fundamental Global Inc. As of July 30th, using the most recent available data, Q1 2025 ended March 31st, 2025. So Q1, well, let's start at 2024 here. So revenue was 9 million. In Q1, Q2, 8 million, Q3, 3 million, Q4, negative 15 million. So 9 and 8, that's 17, 20, almost 20 million. And they almost lost the whole 20 million in the fourth quarter. I don't know why. I don't know what happened there, but they lost a lot of money on their fourth quarter 2024. And then fiscal year 2024, we see 28,000, and then Q1 2025 is only 392,000 when Q1 of 2024 was 9.65 million. And then look at this the gross margin that they had. The margin up here is 90%, 89%, 100%, 100%, 61%, and then negative 1358. Very weird. Okay, so number one, insights. It says severe revenue decline in Q1 2025. FGF's revenue dropped to just 2. Yeah, I was just seeing that. That's kind of crazy. Dramatic fall from previous quarters. Why it matters, such a sharp decline signals operational challenges or divestitures, raising questions about the company's core business stability, deepening losses, or number two, deepening losses and negative margins. So gross profit and operating income were both deeply negative in Q1 2025. Gross profit was negative 5.33 million and operating income was negative 8.85 million. Volatile earnings. So why it matters, persistent or worsening losses can threaten liquidity and long-term viability if not addressed. Volatile earnings per share. EPS swung from positive to sharply negative with full year EPS for 2024. Okay, so this thing is definitely on the struggle bus for sure, FGF. So they are trying to raise some money from probably retail. Let's go and look up where these companies are actually from. So Replimune is out of Woburn, Massachusetts. Woburn, and then FGF is out of North Carolina. So it was founded in 1932 and is based in Mooresville, North Carolina. And they have been losing some money. All right, back over here to the scanner. Good morning, Donnell. Yeah, these higher, let's see. So the float on this one, yeah, we looked at this one, 41.31 million, but it's getting some RVO. It's got 8 times its normal, but still doesn't compare to FGF, which has 148 RVO. The only difference is how much actual total volume has been traded. There looks to be more eyes over here on this one in the volume with 27 million headed towards 30 million out of pre-market. So yeah, definitely 2 very questionable stocks up here in pre-market that can give range. Now I do have my ATR set to 50 cents, so I like to see things that are at least moving 50 cents, man. You get smaller than that, it gets super choppy. Super choppy. I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't know what we're trying to do here. REPL continues to just hold these ranges here. So I really don't know about that class action fraud. It's not acting, it's not dumping or anything off that news at 510. It just kind of held its levels. So I'm not sure about that. But like you said, it is a higher float. That may be why it's so choppy and hard to move. Let's go over here and look at our calendar and see if we have any IPOs popping out today. Earnings, IPOs. Okay, we have a Paradise acquisition. We have AMBQ. I don't know what that is. Oh, this one was one that I thought was gonna open up yesterday, but it didn't. But this is the last day of the month, right? Oh, we got one more day in the month. Okay. Let's go over here to earnings. All right, so we got earnings. We got Wingstop coming out. It says before market, so they should have already announced theirs. VEC, I don't know what that is. Wingstop is up 6%. RSI Rush Street Interactive is up. Newmark, let's see if we see any more really familiar names. Carvana is slightly up. They're supposed to be releasing their earnings in aftermarket. Compass, let's see, Alignment Healthcare. Allstate is up a little bit. They're supposed to be releasing aftermarket close. Any other familiar ones? Microsoft is supposed to be aftermarket. So a lot of aftermarket action. Hood, aftermarket, Robinhood, First Energy. A lot of aftermarket action today. Meta, aftermarket, supposedly today. Ford. Not seeing any other ones that just stick out. Okay. Let's go to signals. See what kind of signals are popping up here for this morning. Quantum QNTM is up 3%. Let's see anything up. Anything up like 7 plus 7% TER. These are some early poppers. Doesn't look like they've been popping anymore. FGF was seen 12 times. So session count. So this is basically giving us how many times FGF was popping up this morning. So we can kind of scroll up a little bit. 10, 11 times. FGF still in there. FGF more and more. Let's see. SNBR, D Pro. Oh, D Pro's back up. Only seen twice. Let's see if it continues to show up though. Up 12%. You can go look at D Pro real quick and see what they got going on over there. D Pro looking wild. Oh, with 2 million shares, only up 11%. Did it have news on the day or something? Is that why? Oh, well, we'll go and look at it. Actually, no, we'll look at it right now. Let's see. D Pro news. Fortune 50 telecommunication company purchases multiple Dragonfly heavy lift drone systems for emergency response and disaster recovery. So somebody bought some of those Dragonflies. Fortune 50 customer will be able to benefit from the vital role of UAV technology. So doing flyovers and reconnaissance and all of that good stuff. But it does have some type of CSE press release today. All right, let's continue to look up this thing and see who else is spiking. Marvel Tech. Okay, up 9%. Anybody up like 10% at least? D-Pro again. Now we're at 6 o'clock, so Recon. What was the float on D-Pro? Let me see. Key. Okay, the float on that one was 17.38 million on D-Pro. Safe Green Development up 39%. SGD. Does it have news or something? And it is a cheaper stock too. Had news yesterday. AI-powered technology poised to disrupt the media sector, but it's combination news. It's actually the last time it got news itself was on July 1st. They announced 2 sites appraised at 9.9 million, so that's a while ago. CAPR Therapeutics. Let's look at that. Shareholders that lost money in this company should contact whoever this is for a class action. All right. So a bunch of the class actions and class action news being up is not great. Okay. Okay. Fed at 2. Nothing to see here says Fed at 2 with wait, all right. At 2 today? Wait a minute. When was this scheduled? This is the 30th. Okay, so FOMC meeting. Yeah. 2-day meeting, press conference. I wonder, well, I mean, it's the end of the month. I don't know if it's really gonna. Actually, let's look at the overall market. What's the overall market looking like? Okay, so it's still sitting at pretty much all time. No, it's not. It came down a little bit. So let me see. This we want the 15-minute. Jump over here to the 15. Okay. So we know it hit all-time highs up here and got coming down yesterday, 23 down here to 24 400, and now it's just trading in this range here around the 23 500s. Rate bets are no change. Oh boy. You think the market's going to continue to go up with these rates going up? Things are getting more expensive to invest in as well as buy. So, you know, being in position, in a position is better than not being in a position at all, I guess. Because it just seems like if you had a 401k or portfolio or whatever and it was following the market, even during these tariffs and all of this stuff, you'd still be like good. You would still be good. Okay, let's go look at the front page on Yahoo and see what they're posting out here. All right, so Fed set to hold rates steady, defying Trump's call for a cut. The Fed decision comes amid internal divisions and intensified pressure from Trump. Whirlpool is championing the tariffs that hammered its quarter. Kraft Heinz beats on Q2. Tesla signs a 4.3 billion battery deal. Cuts reliance on China. Ooh. Okay. So let's look at that. Actually, no, let's use AI here. Let's go use AI for this. Let's see. So Tesla battery deal. Tell me about that. Come on, AI. Okay, so Tesla. Tell me about the Tesla battery deal. Better not tell me a joke. Okay, absolutely. This is a timely question. Tesla's battery strategy is making headlines right now. Tesla Inc. 2025 battery deal overview. So on July 30th, Tesla signed a 4.3 billion supply agreement with South Korea's LG Energy Solution. This move is designed to reduce Tesla's reliance on Chinese battery suppliers, especially as new U.S. tariffs make Chinese imports more expensive for its energy storage business. Here are key details. So deal value 4.3 billion. Supplier LG Energy Solution, which is a South Korean energy solution. Battery type lithium iron phosphate. Production location is in Michigan, so it's in a USA factory where these batteries will be assembled. Looks like. And then supply period August 2027, July to July 2030. So, like a 3 year period with the option to extend to 7 years. Use case energy storage systems, not vehicles, supporting Tesla's Megapack and Powerwall units. Um, I think the Powerwall units goes to with like their I think they have a solar type system or something. I think that's what the Powerwall units are. But it may not be. I may be completely wrong. Let's see. Strategic rationale: diversify supply chain away from China, mitigate tariff impact, support U.S. operations. LGES is currently the only major producer of LFP batteries at scale in the US, giving Tesla a first mover advantage for domestic energy storage. The deal comes as Tesla's energy storage business has been a rare growth engine, and even as EV sales have softened and the government incentives have shifted, the contract allows for increased supply volumes and extensions, reflecting flexibility for future demand surges. Recent news context. So Tesla's energy segment grew 113% in 2024, but now faces margin pressure from tariffs and shifting trade policies. CEO Elon Musk noted that energy storage demand is gigantic, and the company is working to secure more non-China based supply. Takeaway: this deal is a strategic pivot for Tesla, securing U.S. made batteries to protect its fast growing energy business from geopolitical risk and tariffs. It also positions Tesla to capture more of the booming demand of grid scale battery storage, especially as AI and data centers drive up more power needs. All right, so it did an okay job. It didn't tell me a joke, it told me about the deal. Great. All right, back over to Yahoo. So, yeah, I'm going to skip reading that little from Reuters or whatever that is. All right, let's see. Trump eyes 25% tariff on India. VF Corp jumps after earnings. S&P 500. Okay, so let's look at this India tariff. Let's go to new chat. Okay, tell me about tariffs proposed for India. Tell me about the tariffs proposed for India. All right, so tariffs proposed for India as of July. You picked a great moment to ask. Okay, yeah. Trade tensions are making headlines. Here's a concise breakdown of the latest proposed tariffs involving India. We already know Trump has warned India could face tariffs of 20 to 25%. India already faced 26% tariff in April, so they brought it down 1%. Oh man, okay. 1%. These tariffs part of a broader strategy targeting countries that have not signed new trade agreements with the US by August 1st deadline. which is literally in 2 days. Tariff threat deadline. Okay, so what imports would be affected by these tariffs on India? Oh man, the basmati rice. All right, REPL continued to make a move up. I'm seeing it out of the corner of my eye. India, so it says key imports from India facing proposed U.S. tariffs. Smartphones and electronics. So India is now the top supplier of smartphones to the U.S. With a 44% market share in Q2 2025. Major brands like Apple and Samsung have shifted production to India to avoid China tariffs. These are directly, so they're avoiding China tariffs and then India gets hit. So these are directly targeted by the proposed 20 to 25% tariffs. Diamonds and jewelry. So diamonds are India's largest export category to the US, and jewelry is also significant. Both would be impacted by new tariffs affecting luxury retail and supply chains. Textile and apparel. India is a major exporter of textiles, garments, and footwear to the U.S. These sectors are highly sensitive to tariff changes due to tight margins. Pharmaceuticals, while some medicines may be exempt for health reasons, many generic drugs and APIs, active pharmaceutical ingredients from India could face higher duties. Agricultural products. U.S. India negotiations have been tense over agriculture and dairy access. Tariffs could hit processed foods, spices, rice, and tea exports. Energy and chemicals. If broader BRICS focused tariffs are initiated or enacted, um, especially if India continues buying Russian oil. Oh, that's why they're buying Russian oil. Okay. Chemicals and refined petroleum products could be also targeted from India. Okay. All right. That makes sense. Let's jump over here and look at what REPL is doing over here. This one is came up here, bottled up around. That's what I was saying. This class action fraud. I was like, why isn't it not dropping after the news came out at 510, right? Why didn't we see a big explosion down? But then on some surfaces it's saying it's not illegal action, right? But I thought I saw, contact this attorney or whatever. They're taking legal action, but I don't know how far they push. Apparently not that far if people are still willing to play with this like this. I guess the only time to really see what this thing's gonna do is at the open. Is it gonna drop through the floor or what? Because this is not what we want to see. Let me go back over here to signals. I'm sure it's got hit up with a couple more signals here. 627. So it is 652 right now. I guess we can start looking from okay. So coming on back down, let's look at D Pro. No, not D Pro. FGF running out of steam. Yeah, running out of steam. I guess if you are a bag holder, maybe this is trying to alleviate some of the pressure on the bag holders on this one that were holding from 12 when it dropped down to 3, giving them at least a chance to get out halfway, right? Because if we look over here on the daily chart, we can see this thing. I mean, this is so unexpected. You get this nice little move up, 12.81 around $13 down to 4. Maybe this is just giving them some type of relief to get out before it continues down, because they are struggling financially for sure. And I'm wondering at the open, are a lot of sell orders going to get hit on the open though? That were not set up to go during pre-market or whatnot. Because all of this is just basically people that are either had limit orders, good till cancel limit orders already set, or they had or they're just actively trading this during pre-market. I don't know. Seems like a money grab to me coming to the open. It's about to be 7 o'clock, top of the hour, in less than 5 minutes. Hit a high of 709. The NQ barely green right now. I don't know if the Fed talks are gonna affect it much. I don't know. Um, if the rates hold steady. Oh, you know what? Let's see this. If rates so let's see AI prediction here. So if rates hold steady, give me a summary of outcomes. Summary of outcomes. How did I accidentally put I in there? Of outcomes based on if interest rates hold, decrease, or increase. Let's see what it gives me on that. Okay. Is it too much? Give me a summary of outcomes based on if interest rates hold, decrease, or increase. Absolutely. Okay. All right, so absolutely, this is the time of the question. Central banks' decisions on interest rates are at the heart of economic and market dynamics. Here's a concise professional summary of economic outcomes depending on whether the federal rate holds, decreases, increases rates as of July 30th, 2025. Economic outcomes by interest rate scenario. Okay, so if it holds, so scenario it holds, status quo is what they want to go to. And that's what they've been kind of doing is trying to kind of hold. So economic growth moderates, not recessionary. Inflation trend, inflation gradually converges to 2% target. Labor market unemployment remains low. Asset markets, equities stable to slightly positive yields steady. Special notes, most likely scenario per CME Fed Watch, 95% probability. Fed signals wait and see. If they decrease the rates, economic growth category, growth supported, risk of overheating low. Uh, Risk of overheating low if inflation tamed. Short-term inflation bump in the inflation trend possible, but trend remains downward. Labor market stays strong or improves slightly. Equities and gold rally, bond yields fall. Goldman Sachs expects up to 3 cuts by year end if growth slows further. Last scenario, if they increase rates. So let's see, growth slows further, risk of recession rises, disinflation accelerates, but risk of undershooting target. Undershooting target. Okay. Unemployment may rise modestly. Equities under pressure. Bond yields rise. Unlikely unless inflation unexpectedly surges. All right, so yeah, key insight. Fed is widely expected to hold rates steady 5.25 to 5.50 in July 2025. Goldman Sachs projects 3 rate cuts by year end. The main risk to the downside is a sharper than expected slowdown in consumer spending and housing. Tariff related inflation is seen as temporary and not likely to derail the broader disinflation trend. What's special right now? The U.S. policy rate remains the highest among G10 nations, reflecting economic resilience and Fed independence. Political pressure for lower rates is mounting, but the Fed's credibility hinges on data, not politics. Markets may be underestimating the speed and depth of potential rate cuts if economic data weakens further. All right. Let's see. Follow-up questions. Can you show me a chart of recent U.S. interest rate changes? How do these scenarios compare to ECB or Bank of Japan's current policy? What are analysts currently forecasting for U.S. GDP growth and unemployment? How have equity markets historically responded to Fed cuts? And what do technical indicators suggest about bond market direction if rates are cut? If you want to see any of these, just type the beginning of them in the chat and I'll just click it and it'll do that. Okay, let me look back over here. So REPL, looks like it's just continuing to run into that $7 level. And if you want to see any of these, just type the first like maybe 3 words, or yeah, first 3 words, and I'll hit it for you. All right, but anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go over here while we wait and look through here. REPL. D-Pro back down to 9%. Not looking great. Let's go back over here and look at these signals. We got Wingstop up 14%. Wingstop, those are some that are going to be doing their earnings. Should be in aftermarket. Yeah, Wingstop shares are trading higher after the company reported higher than expected Q2 conference call scheduled today at 9 a.m. Q2 earnings were released today before market open. Okay. NEGG, Wang and Lee Group, We Buy, Ions. Okay. All right. Pretty sure. Oh wow, oil definitely came back up. It was at 64 last week. If it will load my chart. XOXL. Oh, I moved too quick. All right, there we go. Oil. So it was at 64 on the 23rd, and now it's all the way up to 70. Oil continuing to ride on up. Mm. All right. REPL on the 15 minutes starting to eat back towards the bottoms after hitting its head up there at around the $7 flat level. The point of control is down here at 577 based on the 15 minute. It is at six flats at on the 5 minute. Then on the 1 minute, it's at 585. So once it starts breaking that 6, it's going to start breaking under all of those points of control. Okay. You just bought gas for 309 a gallon. Is that cheap or is that cheap for you or expensive? He's gonna be like, no, that's a discount. That's a discount. 309, man. I don't know what you driving. If you driving like a truck or something, 309 a gallon is a lot. Cheap. I see. Yeah, I think we may be under $3 as well here in Mississippi. I think it's like two. When was the last time I filled up? I can't even remember. I think it was like two 80 something, 290. I can't even remember. I always be getting my gas from Kroger so I can use my shopper points. My point system gives me all those discounts on my gasoline. Can't wait till they figure out how to use water. What they already did use water. It's just nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be scooting down the road on vapors. It's all about that sweet fossil fuel. It gets us up to those speeds that we like. Because I don't know if you could get up to like, 200 miles per hour on water unless you actually have a H bomb in your engine. Then you could definitely get there. But that would be very dangerous. Every time you crank up, just like starting a rocket. Yep. FGF failing on out. I guess nobody's interested until that offering closes. Oh, did they kill that guy? Well, wait a minute. No, no way. Let me see. There's a black dude that was doing that. He had a generator that would. It was almost like this big. making you throw your plastics in, it heats them, turns them into back into like petroleum jelly, and then he was able to synthesize or I forgot what all he did, but he was able to get the. They didn't kill that guy, did they? Let me see. Guy. Let me just see. Guy that makes gas from plastic. Guy that makes gas from plastic. They tried to kill him. They put his. They tried, but I don't think they. Nah, this got a Julian Brown. Julian Brown is a young inventor from Georgia known for his innovative approach to tackling plastic waste through his invention of plastiline. He claims to have developed a process that converts plastic into fuels like gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Brown has gained significant attention on social media, amassing over 1.7 million followers, and has raised funds for his project. However, he has recently gone missing. Oh, okay. So let me make sure I'm reading this right. Julian Brown, young inventor from Georgia, known for his innovative approach for tackling plastic waste through his invention called plastiline. He claims that he developed a process that converts plastic waste into fuels like gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Brown has gained significant attention on social media, amassing over 1.7 million followers. He has raised funds for his project. However, he has recently gone missing, sparking widespread concern and speculation about his safety and the nature of the threats he faces. Okay. He was 21 years old. He said he vanished. Let me go right here. 404, page not found. Ain't that great? All right. Um, Mom shares update after he goes dark. Okay, what matters? The mother said her son is safe. Okay, well, she says he's safe after the 21-year-old inventor said he was under attack earlier this month. Brown invented plastiline, which he says converts plastic into fuels like gasoline and diesel. The 21-year-old has 1.8 million followers on Instagram. Brown's most recent post on the platform was shared on July 9th. I can't go into too much detail, but there is some very, very odd stuff going on, Brown said in the video. I'm certainly under attack right now. Okay. What to know? So his mom said, I can confirm Julian is safe, but in the best interest of his security, I'm not able to provide any more information. Interesting. Julian Brown. So this guy, let's see, Julian Brown. Huh. Well, he's under a rock somewhere. Somewhere in Georgia, under a rock is where he is at. Not dead under a rock, but like just chilling under the rock, you know? Not 6 feet under a rock, hopefully. Um, but yeah, very, very interesting. I think they did kill that other guy that was doing the water. He was doing like a water system to ride vehicles and stuff, but I don't know. It's all conspiracy. I think if it was, I don't know. I mean, they can definitely wipe things because you can get your information wiped off anything if you pay enough money. They always say if you put something on the internet, they can never get it off. Yeah, if you have enough money, The internet is nothing but zeros and ones. Okay. It doesn't really matter, you know. Now, I guess you could say if someone were to save it onto another source off of the internet, they can probably re-upload it. But if with AI now, you can actually take that image and have it just constantly searching the internet for any content like that. And if they repost it, it can immediately flag it. And you can go after them and get that information, sue them for defamation, whatever you want to do to get that information off of your off of the internet. Because nobody cares if you have a picture sitting on your computer at your house. It's when you upload it to the intranet or the dark web. That's when everybody gets into an uproar. It's like, why did you post that? But I think at this point, everybody should know how deadly the internet can be as a tool to destroy uh, reputation. Because one, they have things that they can take your voice, make things that sound just like you, look just like you, move just like you, have your same ticks, have you walking through a park saying some crazy stuff. And now your front door is getting kicked in. But it is what it is. This is the world we live in today. That is why it's good to always have your metadata on, you know about metadata when it comes to videos and things like that, because when they're created, the location that they're created usually is in the metadata of that video. Let me see. So we got another one popping up here, BGLC. BGLC just came onto the scan. It's at 648. It does have news on today, it looks like. All right, BioNexus, Gene Lab Corp, and so they have an alliance. Okay, this is out of Malaysia, so this looks like some type of Asian company. Let's see, BGLC. What's the float on this? The float for this is 1.79 million on BGLC. Let's go BioNexus. Looking like it's out of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. BioNexus Gene Lab Corp, through its subsidiaries, focuses on the sale of chemical raw materials for manufacture of industrial, medical, appliance, aero, automotive, mechanical, and electronic products in Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, and other countries in the Southeast Asia. The company operates through three segments: trading of industrial chemicals, provision of genomic screening services, and investment holding. It offers various chemical raw material products, including polyester, resin, thixotropic, quick curing, unsaturated polyester resin. Okay, so a bunch of resins. It was incorporated in 2017. So let's go back over to the news. It has a RVOL of 5.35 right now, with trading 6 million shares traded at 50%. So up 50%, has ATR of $1.09. And let's see what the okay, so yeah, it is definitely a small cap on BGLC. BGLC. Let's go look at the daily chart for BGLC. Okay, wow. We've seen this one before, pop and drop. I already have a note out here. Looks like I just put what it was, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So it closed yesterday at 446, and now it is up to 680. So right around the top of this candle here, right under $7 is where it's sitting. So that could be a possible level. So we'll edit possible daily at $7. $7. Um, Past that, let's see, underneath, nothing super obvious that everybody can see, but 7 is definitely something there. You got capsize there. Up here to the 830s. I don't know if it can get up there, but maybe it tries to try to fill the rest of this gap to 8 something, but I don't know if the news is good enough. Let's go ahead and put that up there. What is that? 8, like 825s. Possible level. Possible daily level, 825. So we'll go ahead and mark that. And then to close this complete gap, it will be up here to 880s, right under the $9 basically. So let's edit that. Possible daily. Possible daily. Whoops. Possible daily level. And so we got $7, $825 to close this gap, 881. And we'll just have to see how it reacts up there to 881. So yeah, let me fix this spelling. Possible daily level. All right, so let's jump back over to the 15 minute, see where the alignment is. Okay, so on the 15 minute, or this is 1 minute, let's go to 15 minute. 15 minutes, so we have, it jumped up here to 825. So that level that we just marked, hit that 825, it's got the 7 here. And then the further level is at the 880s. But yeah, it's forming a little bit of a top and tail there at 825. Let's jump down to the 5 minute. Okay. Point of control, well, actually, let's check the 15 minute point of control first. 15 minute point of control is all the way down here to 632s. So definitely trading above that. On the 5 minute, it is 634. And on the 1 minute, it is 650. So got up there and touched that 825 real quick. What was the ATR yesterday? ATR on this one from yesterday was 94 cents. BGLC has a R-vol of 7 times its norm now. You said proposed or proposed on Momo 2. Just got my 5% and bounced in 654. 654 and bounced out of there at 7. Nice. So it was in this flat area, got going up, and so it has an alliance that it's trading on right now. Some kind of alliance with Fidelion Diagnostics announced landmark at what was it? Landmark something. Interesting. Up 69% right now. 7%. It might actually, no, it's not going to take the lead. It's just getting, it's almost to 10 million shares traded. It needs 1 more million to get to 10 million. And we'll see how it ends up acting up. It has this previous level at this 7 down here. Has these wicks up, but looking like it wants to go a little bit more. First leg and then a little bit of a second leg. Lower high. GPD comes out at 830. Yeah, it went up to 8. Yeah, that thing was cooking. I saw 825 up there. It hit 825 so quick when we marked it. And now it's hitting it again at 825. But the next level is up there to the 880s. If it's gonna go, let's see 880. Can it do it? Because that would be closing the whole gap up there to 880. Okay, finding some trouble there, 825s. Is this going to be an engulfing candle, or is it going to hold up? It'll have to get under pretty much the 750s to be an engulfing candle. Be a 30-cent drop. $10 million shares traded on it now. Our vol is looking like 8 times the norm, almost to 10 times its regular volume. Lower highs, volume coming in on this level. I'm wondering will it move that volume up here, but I just see the volume coming in on the side here around this. And we got to see if it's going to push up out of this volume or down below 750. I think this is one of the things that makes pre-market so difficult to trade is just the overall, it's like, you just got to be in attack mode, man. There is no waiting on a real proper setup or something. It's basically like looking at consolidation and hoping that it doesn't dump on you. Or maybe you do get a good dip off in there and then you get in on that dip. But this one, definitely not doing that kind of action. It's straight up. Receive news at 7 a.m. Right there, 7 a.m. and got going up. 11 million shares traded on it with almost 10 times its normal volume. Wait, after the 830 number before pressing that button. No, I ain't pressing no button on BGCLC with an alliance. I don't know, that news doesn't really spark hope in my heart. Time to get under 750 now. Start to walk down. Looks like it did not want to close that whole gap. Let's go look at the 15-minute while we're waiting. 15-minute 825 level. Got hit twice. Has room back down here through the $7 level. We'll see how it holds the sevens. All right, now is the time to get under 750. Our ball almost 10 times its norm. 9.96 right now. Looking at the daily chart, back under 7 is not going to be looking good on the daily. So if we look where where this 7 is, they'll be breaking back into this previous candle. You know, from 7 to about 650 down here. But let me remove that. 7 to the body of this candle, duplicate. Right here, that's going to be looking real bad under 7. Seven down to that 667-ish. And less volume is over there on REPL for sure. It's just kind of falling on down. Waiting for the open. Yeah, 650 is about the area that it does not need to break. Whoops, did not mean to remove that. Let me back that up. I want to activate. Activate. 650, $half level. Literally right on the point of control. So let's see how it acts at this 7 and above this 650. Yeah, it looks like it's about to be claiming some souls for sure. I don't know if this is what you would call a falling knife yet, but once it's past this 7, it's definitely going to be looking more like one. This top and tail, and then you got this little short stop here. 746 held it down. On the 15-minute. 7 is slightly holding, but I just, 12 million shares. It's like, bro, change. Trying to hold up that $7 hold dollar level. I mean, it may bounce again before it goes through it. I don't know. Unless it's just really, really strong down through there. But, yep. Breaking it there. Let's see if buyers come in at that hold dollar level. A little bit of bouncing. Yep. A little bit of bouncing there. A little bit of bouncing. 59% up now. Closed it above 7. May give a little bit of green ticks. Doesn't mean it can't slam though. Previous bottom is down here at the 694. Again, a higher low there. So held up at 694. Let's see if we can go ahead and break it. Let's see how this candle closes. Very slippery slope, and it keeps finding its way back over 7. Lot of volume just is coming in right here. I'm thinking buyers are looking for a quick little reprieve. Let's see if they get it over the top of 713. Double top, double bottom right there. Let's see it pull back up. A lot of volume came in here for a quick pop. This is 7 up to, what is this, 713. Look at that volume still pouring in. Pouring in, pouring in. They're going to end up moving the point of control here in a minute. Could not hold. And now 7 can become resistance because it fell down here. So we'll see what happens here. Popping up to 7. Little small taps at 7. Yep. Getting slapped on in the mouth. Nasty. Nasty work. Okay, so 7 held right there. It's like at the mid range here. It's got this bottom at 650. Below 650, I mean, it's definitely looking like it's a knife. It may try to retest that $7 hold out level one more time, maybe, but the ranges are getting smaller. Here's the 15-minute, working its way down to the bottom of the body of this candle, 658s. Continue to go to war with $7. But 7 is not having it. It's below the point of control on the 5-minute. Let's see on the 15-minute. 15 minutes still above. And then the 1 minute still above. So we're trying to see where the alignment is. Can it pull that point of control up and start trading under it? 7 is not having it. 13 million shares traded on this one. Wow. REPL, still just grinding around. GF. Yeah, the range is getting tighter and tighter. These candles here, this first one, 668 up to 833, super fast. Gave a little bit of time to take profit, did another move for late entries, and then now killed everybody else that is holding from this point. And making lower lows here. So this low right here is 670. It's looking real crazy. These folks up here are suffering from 790s, 763s. If they're still holding, they're suffering. Keeps showing some type of buying in here, but continues to make these lower lows. And the 7 keeps holding. Five minutes. Coming back up there to the 7s there. Are they gonna start hammering this thing? Are all of these nails here at the 7? So it put its head up, smash. Put its head up, smash. Put its head up. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times that it did this. So let's see if we get a smash here, like on this other side. Will it start forming shoulders that look like this? Should see a pretty big move back under 7 here. Smash. Looks like they found a nail and they're doing the hammering. You don't trust the third move, so let's see. So what would be, so this was one move, a little consolidation, 2 move, 3 move maybe, and then, I don't know where you would consider. So do you consider it like this? Like all of this is consolidation, and then this is the first move, 1, and then some a little consolidation, 2, and then this is the third one that failed. So 1, 2, and then third failed. I think that may be how you're looking at it, but I don't know. One, two, third fail. And this is also on the 1 minute. So I don't know if you're using the 1 minute or the 2 minute, 3 minute. I don't know if you're using the same time frame either. Maybe let me see what it looks like on the 5s or on the 5 here. Wait, 5. 5. So here, yeah, you got to be using a lower time frame for that. Because that's the only way you're going to even see these. I just have a feeling that oh, it moved the point of control up here. So the point of control came up to 674. So under this 674 is death. The majority of the trades have happened here. So I don't know if there's a bunch of stop orders here or what, but the majority of things have happened here. Okay, so coming down a little bit to the 7 on the top side. Is this a bear flag where, instead of a bull flag is kind of like this thing that happened. Now it looks like a bear flag is forming. Came out here, knocked it down, got some higher levels here, but kept getting hammered down. And so now all we need to see is a breakdown of 7. What's the point of control on the 15? 15 minutes still all the way down there. 650s just about. And it's below the point of control on the 5. Yeah, kind of getting torn up. Well, this is Wednesday hump day action. Remember we have the Fed meeting today at 2 down there in the afternoon. We'll see what they're trying to do with the Fed rates. Expecting a hold, we looked it up and all that stuff. They're expecting a hold on the rates. So we looked at the different outcomes and all that good stuff. But I'm about to go ahead and shut it on down. Want to see some better news. I mean, BGLC may be something, but it's got 14 million shares, but REPL still has the majority of the shares on the day with 49 million shares. It's at $6.56. I really want to see that fall before, I'm like, oh yeah, these low floats got it on the day. Yeah, but I think they're finding nails here. Like on this side, oh, let me remove this. Like on this side, all these hammers down, I think that's what they're finding over here is heavy resistance. See? It just hasn't broke down yet. A little punch down to 7 flat again. So that's twice it's done 7 flat and not broke down, but it is making lower highs. Anyway, like I said, I'm about to go ahead and shift on up out of here. Had to see what else comes up. See which one of these holds. Right now, I only have 3 that were up here from the morning: REPL, BGLC, and FGF. Yep, I'm about to get ready for this morning meeting in 15 minutes. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. We have the Discord. It's free Discord and all of that. We continue conversations in the Discord during the day. Sometimes the beginning of the week is super busy, and so I'm not really in there. But I definitely participate at some point in the day. But BGLC, pretty big hammer there, isn't it? Is it getting hammered or is it going up? Anyway, like I was saying, it's we're trying to see if these two sides are matching. This side right here reached up to the 743s. Is it going to get slammed all the way back down into this consolidation level? I don't know, but it looks like a head and shoulders. So shoulder over here at 744, head up here 840, and this looks like some type of shoulder, and unless it breaks out back over 750s, but I don't know how probable that is. Anyway, that is it for me today. I will see y'all in the Discord. I'm about to get ready for this meet. And as always, see you in the next one. Let's see. Peace.